Hey, good evening, everyone.
Blessings, sir. Good night.
Keep showing. Right. Those of you who are on this, as you know the drill. Let us know where you are coming in from. What part of Trinidad, what part of the Caribbean. We are really, really excited to have you connected with us. Just text, put it up there in the chat. Let us know what part. Jacqueline, Donna, Brian. All right. Okay. I want you also to tag someone or text someone and let them know that Minding My Business is on. Keyshawn and Ian, where we are here with this in this platform to discuss personal development in the area of faith and finance. All right, this we have a lot to discuss tonight as we're going to look into the aspect of value and virtue. All right, but before we jump into that, Keyshawn, how was your week? How was the conference? Give us not the conference, the business breakfast meeting.
Well,
The business breakfast meeting.
things are definitely hectic. Breakfast Saturday was amazing. All the team members that came out, it really had a positive impact on them. Some was even given a lot more to think about in terms of application for themselves, introspection, and really asking themselves the difference between virtue and value, especially those that came from a gospel background or a Christian-based background, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think last night we was on because I did basically a follow up on the session.
Yeah.
We had some Q&A, and what I did basically, I kind of went into bringing more clarity to the gate system that I put together. What was your feedback on that? What was your feedback on that?
Feedback on last night? I didn't ask about last night because I was out myself, so I didn't get to tune in.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but I could only anticipate that obviously they would have learned more.
Yeah, no, it was really, really amazing. All right. So those of you who are on, just see Ansel is on. Good to have you on, Ansel. All right. But let's jump into it and probably text where you are coming in from. All right. So and Kishore, what I want to look at tonight, basically, most of the discussion is going to be basically coming out of the business breakfast, because I believe that the feedback that we got and the impact that it had on individuals, folks have been calling me, personally, and sharing how they were impacted with the meeting. Sorry we didn't have enough more time to really do the Q&A and the breakup session, but as I said, we're going to, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be coming down. We're going to be going down into the south area and do a part 2. And by the grace of God, hope we could come into the west side. Right. So so what I'm gonna deal with tonight, Keyshawn, is coming out of the breakfast, and I shared some things. I want to pull some points, and I want you to really pull on me tonight. Pull on me tonight, and because there are some things that I really, really want to look at. Now, the reason why I want to focus on the value virtue concept, because I see it as a critical aspect where a lot of individuals find themselves trapped in. Because we brought a lot of clarity into letting folks know when it comes to the marketplace. We went in depth with the marketplace based on where you function in society. Okay, that what are you bringing to the marketplace?
Yeah.
Okay, and those things I believe that is really, really important, because we said that you invade, impact, and influence. Okay, so you are going in the marketplace, but you want to be able to invade it.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to make an impact, and then you want to influence it, and that is coming out from the aspect in terms of where a lot of individuals are comfortable because they see it as a 9-to-5 where they go in, they do their part and go back home. As long as my bills are paid and my children are fed and those things, I have a roof over my head. But I believe that we were called for more than that.
Yeah.
Okay. So even though you have a business, let's say probably a supermarket, a convenience store, or you're selling vegetables, or whatever it is you're doing, or you probably you're doing tailoring, or you're a seamstress, whatever it is you're doing. I think the whole mindset, Keyshawn, is that when you step into that, because literally when you begin to flow into that, remember you go into the marketplace.
Correct.
Okay, to invade, invade, and you know when I keep saying that, my mind really, I see the concept with your approach with the whole network marketing, bankers, brokers, and how you are really. I mean, it's like you move all these steps. Literally, because it's like you invading a space,
Yeah.
packing it, and you remember we talk about even now. I show sometimes the calls that comes in on your phone. It's ridiculous. You can't even respond to all the calls that comes in on your phone because people trying to reach out to you. Okay,
Correct.
but I think the whole and that's a whole mindset. Why? Because you see where you're invading. Okay, you're not just relaxing, you're not casual, complacent, but you're here to impact. In other words, you have what we call a takeover mindset,
Yeah.
and
Correct.
you're operating like I'm going to use this word. You're operating like a revolutionist, a revolution, and that's and folks, listen to me. That's the mindset that when you start your business, when you begin to step out there, that's the drive and that's the push that you have to, because you want to be able to invade, you want to be able to impact, and then you want to be able to what? Influence. Okay. Now let's go to the aspect of the value aspect. Okay.
Mhm.
Because remember, you're adding value, what we say, and you're taking value in the
Yeah.
marketplace.
Correct.
Okay? We established that the whole concept of the whole virtue concept. All right. And I think if it's basically fitting, okay, to do a comparison between value and virtue. But before I do that, I want to allow you, Keyshawn, to just share your perspective on this discussion before I go deeper into it.
In being a student of financial literacy and
Mhm.
success, what I could say is that if anyone applies the three I's, which is invading, impacting, and influencing in any
Yeah.
sphere,
Yeah.
wealth is a byproduct of those I's naturally.
Mm.
Like naturally, like if you invade a market, you impact a market, you influence any market, wealth is a natural byproduct. So it's
Okay.
also entwined into the principles of wealth itself,
Yes.
and of course, if you compare that to the average person who may be doing the 8 to 4 and the 9 to 5, the
Yeah.
truth is that if you're able to really pour into your gifting, into your area of business, and you do those three I's, you don't have to try to attain financial freedom. Is going to be a byproduct of that mindset, of that approach, of that activity. So it
Mm.
also synchronized the wealth creation for certain.
Mm. No,
Yeah.
that is to me it's really a game changer. But when you look at individuals, you ask yourself why it is someone don't really take that full approach of the invading mindset.
Yeah.
Why it is a lot of individuals are just casual and just get by. But what we are saying basically is that whole radical kind of takeover mindset.
Yeah.
I think that is the aspect have to really step into the heart of individuals. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Now, what I want to do, Keishan, I want to just do the whole comparison between value and virtue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're gonna draw some biblical characters tonight to look at individuals in the Bible who really literally um, invade, not by choice, because if you look at Joseph, he was sold as a slave. Right? So that was by his own choice. He didn't choose to go into Egypt.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was brought into a system as a slave,
Yeah.
but yet he was able to impact, invade, influence, and dominate that system.
Yeah.
And those are things that we need to look at. Okay, he was free like us. he was a slave.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do a comparison, because we're gonna look at that, because even when you trace the record with the character Joseph, I hope the folks on will have kind of familiar with the Bible, so they will know Joseph was the character in the Bible, a patriarch in the Bible,
Yeah.
who was sold by his brothers as a slave, went into Egypt. Okay, and Potiphar, who was administrator of Pharaoh, saw Joseph being naked. Okay, but when he saw Joseph, he felt something, that there's something different about this individual.
Yeah.
Okay, and the same thing with each one of us. There's something different. There's something unique about us. Did not intend to buy a slave. Did not even intend to go by the slave trade market, but just walked down and saw Joseph and stopped by Joseph. All right, and he said, "I want this one." Took him in. I'm going into the value virtue concept just now. Took him in his home. Took him in his home, and when Joseph began to operate and function, okay, he brought order, he brought structure, because guess what? He brought value into that space.
Yeah.
Okay, which means he brought about a change into that place. Now, before I go deeper into that, let's do now the comparison between value versus virtue.
Yeah.
So as important or desirable. Right?
Stop there a bit on my end. Sorry.
All right, okay, so let me come back again. So I'm going to bring the comparison between value and virtue. Now, keep in mind, Keisha, we're not saying that virtue is not important.
Yeah.
Virtue is as much as important as value, but we are dealing with the workspace and the workplace.
Yeah.
What is needed to impact, to invade, and to influence. So which means you cannot come into that workspace with just virtue.
Mm-hmm.
You need more than virtue, you need value. Okay, so I'm saying, Keyshawn, and those of you are listening here, and listen to me, folks, if you're on, I want you to you could share your take on virtue and value. You could share some of the things on the chat, because we're going to look at it, because we want to have this discussion tonight, and we're going to put it up so that folks are not. Hey, awesome, good to have you on. All right, also Davis is on, good to have you guys on. All right, so let's go back into it. So I'm saying values are principles or standards,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that are considered as important or desirable. So when you're going to workspace and the workplace, the marketplace or the market space, what is considered as important and what is considered as desirable in that space?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I want to throw it at you, because I'll tell you, throw some stuff at me tonight, but let's go. So Keyshawn, what is considered to be important and desirable in the workspace and in the workplace place?
Yeah. I remember, hearing a mentor speak about value itself and giving us a definition. And he said, your value is your level of usefulness.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And your level of usefulness in whatever specific area. So are you useful? Can you be used and be exchanged to earn or to make a profit? So it's your level of usefulness. And there's many persons go into jobs, and the question they should always be asking is, how useful am I to the company, to the objective, to be able to earn a profit?
No, that useful is important, because, and I think it's a question that everyone really is supposed to ask. Hey, look, Terrell is in the house.
Listen soon. Good night.
All right. So I think it's a question in terms of useful, resourceful you are in that workspace and in that workplace. Okay. Yeah. Now, if you look at, for instance, if you look at Joseph, okay, let's look at, because we're doing a whole comparison. Now, let's look at Joseph. The first spot he stopped at was Potiphar's house. He's a slave. He goes into Potiphar's house, but the minute he stepped in there, he brought order, he brought structure, things that were chaotic and out of order. He put things in order, which means he had value in that workspace. Potiphar now, on the other hand, notice there's something different about Joseph.
Yeah.
Okay? Because although he's a slave, although he started at the entry level, he was still useful, he was resourceful, and he had value to Potiphar's house. And that value, guess what? Caused him now to, guess what? To be promoted. And in order to be promoted, there got to be something different about you. In other words, you're adding something that the others are not adding.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we give the definition, values are principles, keep in mind, all right, and standards. What principles, what standards that are considered important. So we have to be able now to evaluate what are the standards, okay, and what are the principles that are considered important and desirable in the workspace and in the workplace that we function in.
Yeah.
Because that is what is going to count. Because now you are able now to identify those things and make that impact in that space in where you're working.
Yeah.
It's different. So, but so that is one aspect of value. Now, virtue, now on the other hand, virtues are qualities that are considered to be good or desirable in a person.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are what considered to be good, all right, and desirable in you as a person, virtuous things. But then if you flip it now to virtue, principles or standards that are considered important or desirable. So when you go into that workspace now, you have to find out what is basically, what are the values, what are the principles and standards that are considered important.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that is what is going to be needed in that space that you plug in.
Yeah.
Okay? Not you just being a good person because Joseph he went in, but remember what he added to the place. All right. So that is basically what we're dealing on tonight. Hey, I see Roderick is on. Good to have you on, Roderick. All right. Now let's bring one more. Let's bring one more. We have two more. Let's bring one more value. All values may not be desirable or have moral goodness. Okay, because one of the things we noted, we said that it's going to take more than you being a good person. Okay, because one of the illustration I brought forth on Saturday, because there are a lot of individuals who are, you're good, you're a good person, but if you're going to make an impact, all right, and if you're going to invade and influence, you got to be more than good.
Yeah.
Okay, so then now you have to identify what are the principles and standards that are considered important or desirable in the workspace or the workplace that you're functioning.
Yeah.
Because that is what is considered in the marketplace. You see.
I think you broke up, at least on my end. I'm not certain if you broke up overall.
Yeah, I saw it. I think the internet kind of up and down. All right. So what I'm saying is that a lot of individuals are not willing now to do the homework, basically to identify what is needed to really make that difference.
And
even for those of you who are for come back, Kishore, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, and even the level of energy in which they operate, like how much they pour into the activity on a day to day. Because there's something I want to mention about Joseph, and you highlighted that Joseph was a slave. And
Okay.
the question I want to ask the audience: are you free?
Okay.
Because one of the things that allowed me personally to pour myself into what I do is actually realizing that I'm coming from a slave status.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the reason I say that is because when you ask yourself, are you free? The questions that should come right after that is, can I live the lifestyle I desire? Can I pay for that lifestyle without having to work a 8 to 4 and 9 to 5? Can I travel the world? Can I eat the best food? So the question is, am I a slave? And when I realized, when I asked myself that question at that time in today's world, I was considering myself a slave, asking myself that question, you know.
Okay. Okay.
I had that epiphany like, listen, I'm not free. And
Mhm.
because I realized I wasn't free, I decided to pour my everything on an energy level that was beyond having the mindset that, I'm thinking to myself that I'm free. So I don't think a lot of persons realize that they ain't free.
No, Keisha, that is, yeah, I mean, you brought that point there, and what stood out for me, here is what stood out for me is the aspect of Joseph. All he was a slave physically,
Yeah,
he was a slave mentally.
mentally. Yeah,
Right, and that's a whole, because a slave, because you could be a free person, which you see a lot of people now. You're free physically, but
yeah,
mentally you're a slave,
yeah, true.
because your mind is still in bondage. Your mind is still trapped. Okay, but if you look at Joseph, who literally was a slave physically,
Mm-hmm.
but I believe mentally Joseph did not have that slave mindset.
Mindset.
You,
Yeah.
you could put it now that in the sense of he was not a slave. Um, he was not a slave mentally, and he was not a slave spiritually.
Yeah. Yeah.
He- we are not. There are individuals around people now. They are not slave, which means that you're not forced and you are not beaten and thing. All right. But what about mentally speaking?
Yeah. Yeah.
What about mentally speaking? And that is something that we need to look at. All right. Now, so we are dealing with value and virtue. Okay. So it's not just someone being a good person. Okay, doing good things is what are you adding to that workspace and to that workplace? What are the principles that is needed? So when you go into that, what is needed for me to go to this next level? Not only that, but what is needed to transform and to change and to shift this the company that you're working for, or even your own business. Because one of the things I touch on is just explaining entrepreneur and intrapreneur.
Right.
Okay, because Joseph was an intrapreneur,
Yeah.
because he didn't build that system. All right, he was a slave in it. But
Yeah.
guess what? While he was an intrapreneur, he had to apply what is entrepreneurial skills to shift the system. And that's the game changer. That's the game change right there. Okay, so let's go back to the point now where we talk about now the whole concept of uh, invade, impact, and influence. All right, the space that you're in.
Yeah.
Now, the whole invading the sectors of the society, or that is a whole system we're dealing with, Ekishon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, is a system that literally was designed to keep individual in bondage. We call it, folks call it the Babylon system. It's a system. It's really a system. It's really a system over there. All right, that keep people tie up in a whole 9 to 5, that whole slave mentality. It keep you. I remember I always say this, that the whole aspect of government worldwide, all right, was always to deal with individuals from a place of deal with the world or the country or or society from a place of scarcity.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
That's it's like a mantra when it comes to government and when it comes to leading people, because remember the whole concept is just give the people enough so that they will always feel that it don't have enough.
Yeah.
So it's like they're fighting to snatch and to take. Why? Because it's going to run out. But the fact of the matter, there's more than enough.
Yeah.
So with that aspect and with that concept, you keep people you keep them functioning with a slave mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that is going. So it's really a system when you go in that fight against us. All right? A system that fight against us. Okay, because this is really. Let's get some feedback from some of the folks on. Just give us some of your feedback when it comes to virtue and value. What do you think? And in terms of also the system that is coming against us, the systems. This system concept is really important. This is why when you function in and you go into that space, you know that you have a kingdom system. Okay. But when you go into quote unquote a Babylon system, a world system, a system that was already structured to keep you at bay, to give you just enough.
Yeah, correct.
The system was designed to sustain you. So guess what? So you always have to keep coming back. But you got to be aggressive to break that system.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the the scenario in the Bible when it comes to dealing with that system. Let's see what Brian say. Well, Lynch letter, the making of the slave system technique. Yes, the Willie Lynch concept. That's true.
Correct.
That's
correct.
Right. And you see that still operating now. Now, when we talk about systems, system is important because I look at right. Those of you, when you get time, read the book of Daniel, because with the book of Daniel and the whole concept, I think I mentioned part of it on Saturday, with whole Nebuchadnezzar bringing Israel into Babylon under a system, under a Babylonian system. And when you get some time, take some time and look at the concept, the structure that Nebuchadnezzar implemented to bring these individuals, to brainwash them. Why? Because it was a matter of mind control.
Yeah.
And Keyshawn, this is why we see a lot of individuals who is difficult to break out of the system. So guess what? They just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Okay, you go with the flow. This is why the hardest, the greatest challenge with individuals is their mindset. If you can break that. So what Nebuchadnezzar did, he bring them in an atmosphere and he indoctrinated them for 3 years, okay, under his Babylonian system. And remember when I did that, I said that what he used was concept and ideologies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that is what he used, but yet in the midst of that, yet we see Daniel, who was able to, guess what, to add value and then compromise his virtues in that system. Because although we talk about value and virtues are still important, so we're not throwing virtue out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because virtue is the thing that is going to keep you in check, is going to keep your morals and things in place, so you're not going to violate certain things. You need virtue. Come back, what is that?
Grounded. Keep grounded. Ground yourself.
Keep you grounded. It's like what we call, it's like the picket fence. It keep you protected because you're living by these things. But the value system is important. One of the comparison I have here is basically, it says subjective, all right, and personal silence. An individual can decide what is important to him or to her when it comes to value. Okay. Then when you look at the virtue side, it says qualities that universally accepted to have high moral values. So really, in check, we are not kicking virtue out, because you need, even when you go into the marketplace, although it is value, you need your virtues to still keep you in line and in check. So
Yeah.
so when we say on the platform, in the marketplace is value, in the church is virtue, some folks say, well, you can't just kick it out. And the religious folks will say those things. Okay. I'm telling you, but it is just us making the emphasis that, hey, that we are spiritual enough. Okay, that you don't need your to be spiritual and spooky in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to promotion and elevation in the workspace, is the person who add value to the company, the person add value to the institution, that is going to be elevated, that is going to be promoted. Okay, talk to me, Kishon.
100%, 100%, and it's a dichotomy of them both. It's not just one or not the other. It's about having both in the right quantity.
No, you're virtual, because, all right, take for instance, let's take that. When Joseph was in Potiphar's house, and Sister Potiphar made advances to him, he didn't compromise. Why? His virtue kicked in. That's what kept him. He was a virtuous man.
Yeah,
so
correct.
he didn't compromise his standards.
Exactly.
Understand? But guess what? In the midst of that, his whole system he had running that organization.
Yeah.
Okay, and he run it so skewed in the sense that he made him the chief caretaker of his home. A junior slave coming in at that level. Now, why I'm making emphasis on this, Keyshawn, because remember I said to folks, like, you don't have to stay where you start.
Correct.
I want somebody to hear this, Keyshawn. These are literally examples for us. All right, you don't have to stay where you start. All right, because if you stay where you start, guess what? Joseph might have been still in prison, he'll have been still a slave. Yeah. All right, but he didn't allow where he start to cause him to be stuck in that place.
Correct.
He was able now to bring some value, even in prison. Look at this. Look at Keisha. Yeah. Even in prison, Joseph was able to again add value to when it was scarce. Let's put it like it, in a rat infested, where it was smelling, which means now there was no order.
Yeah.
Okay. But the minute he stepped into that place, he brought order where there was disorder.
Yeah.
In other words, what I'm trying to say now, he brought value, which means he did something. He was willing to do what was needed in that place to bring about a shift.
Yeah.
In other words, he didn't just go in. And this is what you see in Keyshawn. You see this in workspace, that we just go with the norm. Okay? So if everybody on the job doing it, well, you come in, well, I doing it. Why are you doing it? Well, everyone doing it.
What are you doing it?
No, that's it. Because everyone doing it. So okay, I want to do it. No. You're not a decision maker. You're not a leader.
Yeah.
Right? You're not a game changer. Joseph did not do that, because if when he went into prison, guess what? When he went into prison with a rat infested and all that stench and all that stuff, he will leave it just like that. How many of us working in workspace and we just leave it just like that?
Yeah.
That's something to think about. Because if you're going to add value in that place, when you see things out of order, you come to make a change.
Correct.
Because remember, invade, impact, influence. Okay, and I want those of you on tonight to remember that. Let's hear from some of the folks. Folks are quiet tonight, Keyshawn. All right, give us some feedback, folks. Let's hear what it is you're saying. I know some of you all are just there listening, but come on, talk to us. What is your take on the whole value virtue system? Text it there for us. All right. Any question you have, just text it. Come on. All right. Miss Wright is in the house. Go ahead. Invade, impact, influence. Yes, that's the takeaway there we're talking about. All right.
Mm.
To invade, to impact, and to influence. That I think. Listen to me. Those of you who are just texted there for me. Invade, impact, influence. Let that be your mantra.
That's your mantra.
That's it. Let that be your mantra for the rest of the year, for life. I'm here to invade. I'm here to impact, and I'm here to influence. And if you hold that in your mind and in your thought and your life, guess what? You're not going to compromise.
Correct.
Because I said Joseph, when he went into prison and he smelled that place and he saw the rat and all that stuff, he could have just back and said, I'm only here for 10 years.
Yeah, cool.
I cool. Okay. Yes, that's it. That's it, Mark. Wonderful. Yes, put it up. Text it there, folks. Invade, impact, influence. Joseph, how many of us do that same thing? We go into the market space, we go into the marketplace, we go into the company. Guess what? And we say, that is not my company.
Yeah.
It's not my business. No, but understand your assignment. You have an assignment in the marketplace. You remember that scripture we read? I was on a live this morning, Kishon. I was just chit chatting.
Yeah.
That Acts 17:16 with the apostle when he went in Athens and he saw what was going on. The Bible says he reasoned with the Greeks, high rankers, in the synagogues. He reasoned with them in the synagogues, and guess what? And in the marketplace. He went and sat down with them and began to reason with them in the marketplace. Okay? So those of you who are in the marketplace, in the market space, what impact are you making?
Yeah.
Or are you just compromising and going with the flow? Let's just go with the flow. This is not my business. I am just here. Let's see what he said. Quote from Saturday. Right? Wherever your position, that's where you need to invade. That impact, that influence. That's good. That's good right there. Wherever you are positioned.
Correct.
Okay. And you know that is good because Joseph was in Potiphar's house.
Yeah.
As a servant, bam, he invaded that place.
Correct.
Dominate. Okay. Now remember the whole concept, Kishon, is dominate, dominion. Okay. All right. Wherever you are positioned.
Exactly.
So the place really, Kishon, is not the problem. Ooh, I love this. I just love this.
Correct.
The place, those of you who are complaining about where you are located and where they position you, or you're in the police service and they position you right in Toko and all that stuff, and you're vexed. You don't want to go to work and all that stuff, or you want to go San Fernando and all that stuff.
As Monroe said, grow where you're planted.
Ooh, grow where you are planted. Come on, somebody. Grow where you are planted. Wherever you are positioned, right? Wherever you are positioned, you need to invade, you need to impact, and you need to influence.
Correct.
Okay. And I hope out of these discussions, Kishon, folks are really beginning to think. Okay. Because coming out of Saturday, we said you spend more time in the marketplace than in the synagogue.
For sure. You
spend more time in the marketplace than in the synagogue. Okay? Remember we were doing the calculation? All right?
Yeah.
100 and how much hours in a week? 168 hours in a week. All right? You're spending 8 of those hours in the synagogue, in the church. So that's leave you with 160 hours. Come on. 160 hours you're spending outside there. Okay? What impact are you making in the marketplace?
Yeah.
Right? Because that space where you are positioned is where you're going to. Let's see what Vanessa said. Be the salt, influence, and light. Oh, yes, we talk about that. We spoke about that. All right, we are the salt of the earth. And Keyshawn, and those of you who are on, these are scriptures that folks love to quote. I am the light, and I'm the salt, and all that stuff. All right, but we know light, salt, influence, access. You are light, you are influence, and you are access. Yeah. That's literally what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You are influencer, which means when you go in that market space, you're supposed to influence that place.
Correct.
To bring about the necessary change. Okay? You're supposed to be, let's go back to Joseph, because guess what? Joseph was what? A problem solver. Joseph was a problem solver. He
Correct.
solved problems. And for those of you who are on, let me just let you know that, come on, there's a problem that will arise on your job, in the company that you work in. Now, and you notice, Keyshawn, I know sometimes with folks talk about, I want to start a business, and there's a reason why I am taking it in this angle. Okay, because sometimes folks may think that, oh, we want everybody to start a business. And they will tell you when everybody wasn't supposed to. Okay, all right. Okay, so everybody not supposed to start a business. But everyone is in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Everyone is in the marketplace. Everyone is in the marketplace. All right? Everyone is in the marketplace. And that is something, Keyshawn, that I want everybody to get. All right. So, Keyshawn, what discussion, right? What do you think? There's some false feedback though. What do you think? All right. The reason why I love Joseph, because I think the reason why I love Joseph is because Joseph is a picture. These guys are a picture of literally. These guys are a picture literally of the whole invading, and even the invader, not by choice, because it was not Daniel's choice to go into Babylon. Yeah. Those guys went in as slaves.
Yeah,
we are not slaves physically; we are free. Okay. So when let's go a little bit, because we just have a few minutes again. When you look at for instance, Joseph, in prison, he put order, structure, okay, and from prison he moved up now into the palace. And you notice how the progression. Every season he's progressing.
Different levels.
And I believe I'm saying that is what it's all about. That is what it's all about. All right. So that's basically, Keyshawn, this whole concept that we're dealing with in this discussion here. All right. So we are invading. All right. Business sector, you invade your place. Okay. You have to invade it. Right. As an entrepreneur, you got to invade.
Yeah.
So let your whole mindset now begin to shift, so that your perspective you will begin to see things different. When you go to your workspace, when you go to your workplace, right? What you engage, what sectors we say? The government sector, all right? The entertainment sector, all right? The banking sector.
Banking, everything.
trading, and your stocks, medical, fashion, technology, all those sectors, all right? Because we are the salt of the earth. We are the light. Okay, it's more than just being a good Christian.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know that whole just focusing, Keyshawn, on the good Christian concept, because you know why I will tell you this, because everybody wants to go to heaven, and you think that, well, if I'm a good Christian here, I'm going to go to heaven. All right. I mean, those are the teachings that came down through the European concept to the church. So that is what they instill. So you find over the years, you had good Christians, but never invading the market space.
Yeah.
You had good Christians who who had morals and virtues that were good, but we had no impact in the sectors of society.
Correct.
We had no voice in the sector of society. We had no one sitting at the table in the chambers to make decisions. Hear what I'm saying, folks, and I want you to catch this, Kishore. We had no one sitting there where decisions were being made. Because remember, coming up in those years, there was always a fight in terms of church and state.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, church and state, and it shouldn't mix, and the state should stay there, the church should stay there. But when you look at from a biblical perspective, what Daniel did, what Joseph did, what Jesus did. Come on, what they did, they impacted the sectors of society, the marketplace. But now, what is happening now, Keyshawn, you're seeing a shift. All right, you're seeing. All right, you're seeing a shift that is taking place. Okay, where sons of God literally now are understanding their position in the marketplace and begin to dominate and have that kind of dominion, because that's what is needed for us.
Correct.
Okay, that's what. And I hope these sessions are really challenging you guys here. Nobody wants to die. Yeah. Right? No, it's serious. Nobody. Because everyone, and some of us who are on could attest to that. Right? Everyone wanted to go to heaven. And the concept was you get up, you say praise, you have devotion, you're a good Christian. All right? You're a good Christian. All right, Nicholas, see, you really late very rich. Good to have you on, Nicholas. Good to have you on. All right. No. This is folks. We bring it in just now, but listen to this point, Keyshawn, and that is why you hardly had believers, let's say Christians, then in the sectors of society. Okay. So, for instance, let me break it down like this. For instance, you had in the, let's say, the government sector. Okay, you have in the parliament, you have different representatives from different communities.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so when they sit at the table to make decisions, hear me with this. You had Muslims, you had Hindus, you had everybody. But you had no Christian person. No, hear this, and I'm gonna drop this here. Okay. Now, why? Because they had good morals and virtue, but they never mixed state and church. They will pray for them. Now, and this is what I'm saying. So you have all those people, Keyshawn, sitting at the table. Now, we have a decision to make in society for the young children in school. And everybody is giving their input based on their culture, based on their religion, based on their values, based on their morals. They're making a decision. There were no believers. There were no believers sitting at the table. Okay? So the decision made and was passed. Then the believers got up one morning and they heard the decision. They didn't like it, Keyshawn. So they gathered all the people to say, let's pray about this. But they had no one sitting at the table where decisions were made.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you look now in the book of Daniel, what Daniel said to Nebuchadnezzar, he said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, he said, my three friends, they will sit at the table. they will sit at the table to make decisions. There were Israelites in Babylon. They said, we will sit at the table. He said, because when the king asked him, what do you want?
Yeah.
For interpreting the dream and all that stuff. He said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, my three friends, they will sit at the table, but I will sit at the gate.
That's real powerful.
That's on another level. That's another level. All right. Wonderful, Nicholas. It's epic. I know nuggets of gold. he said, I'm going to sit because Daniel was a gatekeeper. And
Yeah.
for those of you who are on, when you operate in a sector of society, whether it's in the banking sector, the educational sector, the entertainment sector, whatever sector, that sector, Keyshawn, becomes a gate. When you are working there, you become a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Everything that comes through that sector must come through the gate. And every gate, there's a keeper. And the concept is, Keyshawn, hear this, and those of you listen, he who keeps the gate rules the city.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
So Daniel said, I'm going to sit at the gate. So everything that comes to Nebuchadnezzar, who would have to pass through first? Daniel.
Daniel.
Okay? And for those of you who are on, understand your position as a gatekeeper, where you are positioned. Don't see it as just a job and I'm just working here. No. You're a gatekeeper because you operate in a sector. Okay? Educational sector. There are things. No, Keisha, I'm going to say this. I know I'm just getting because this is in my spirit.
Yeah.
All right? Because everything that comes into a nation must come through a gate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? There are 4 cardinal points in every nation: east, south, west, north. Those are sectors that represents gates. So you have politics, you have education, you have economics, those are sectors, or those are streets, but they are gates.
Yeah.
So if you now are working in any one of those sectors, you become a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
This is why he wants us to dominate and have dominion. All right? Oh my God, it's getting quiet. Folks, let me get some feedback from one of the folks there tonight. Come on, what some of you all are saying? Come on, just let us know if it's making sense, if you understand this whole concept, why it is the need to add some value where you are positioned. Okay, we already heard it. It's not where you are positioned is not a problem. Where you are positioned is not a problem. You see it. All right, let me ask you this, Kishon. Anyone on here tonight was ever accused of rape? Falsely accused of rape?
Online?
Yeah, online. Nobody here. All right. Joseph was accused of rape. How many of you went to prison falsely? Joseph was in prison.
Yeah.
But yet, wherever he was positioned, he dominated. He dominated it, those areas. And that's what we are talking about. All right? That's what we're talking about. Brian says, such powerful testimony, Dr. Cummings. So you're welcome, Brian. But it's a reality. So we think it's just, I'm a job, I'm just doing my job. No. Your job represents a gate. You go in there, you're a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
You become a gatekeeper. And God wants you to dominate. You're supposed to elevate. You're supposed to move up the ladder. All right? Some of us are climbing the ladder and we have made incredible impact. Yes. All right? And you're just doing it because you have a godly character and godly gifts. Listen to me. You're moving up because your character godly, you have godly gifts, but you don't know how to do it intentionally to deploy a gift in the marketplace.
Control.
No, they're kind of just, I'm a good person, I have a gift, I'm skillful, and I'm keep moving up. But they don't know how to intentionally deploy a gift in the marketplace. All right? Virtue plus value. All right? So what the marketplace is not being a good person. We said that on Saturday. All right? You need to be good, yes, but it's not what is value first. Okay? It's not what value first. The value, the difference you make. And you know the concept, Keyshawn. You want to make a difference and make a dollar. Yeah. I'm going to say make a dollar. All right,
Make-
making moolah every day. Remember, you could. So folks, you make a difference, you make a dollar.
yeah,
You make a dollar, you make a difference. You don't want to just make a dollar and make a difference, because there are people who making a dollar and not making a difference.
correct, correct.
You want to make a dollar, make a difference. You want to add value, and you want to take value.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Joseph went into Egypt, he had value because of his wisdom, because of his skills, because of his knowledge, because of the access he had.
Correct.
Right? He was on a totally. We're going to talk more about that some other time. But he had value to Egypt's system. He had so much value. Listen to this. He had so much value until guess what? Pharaoh made him a god. I fixed this to me. I'm gonna say it again. Joseph had so much value in Egypt until Pharaoh made him a god. And he's riding in the second chariot, and people have to kiss his ring. He had value. And when the famine came, guess what? He was able now to add value to his family.
Yeah.
So you're adding value and you're taking value. So you're not going to lose. You will not lose.
I'll lose.
We win all the time. All we do is win, win, win. Yeah, we win. You're winning. You're not going to lose. You're not going to lose. Joseph came out a winner. He came out on top. Why? Because he didn't compromise his virtues. All right? And he used value to impact.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what folks are saying. The folks, I know we passed the 9 o'clock. Even though you start at the entry level by becoming value, you can evaluate your position. That's it. That's it, Mark. That's what we're talking about. All right, folks, we're about to break 18. Remember, I want to thank everyone for coming on. Just share your takeaway before you leave. Just share your takeaway. What was your takeaway tonight? Come on, let's stay it. All right, Nicholas, what was your takeaway? I know you came in late, but you didn't stay by the gate. You came in. Brian, what's your takeaway? All right, what's your takeaway? Vanessa, let's share your takeaway on this session tonight. Okay, what value are you bringing? What value are you taking? All right, you make a difference and you make a dollar.
Correct.
Okay, don't just make a dollar and don't make a difference. That's not good. Okay, because you are a gatekeeper. All right, you're a gatekeeper. Let's say what Dana say. All right, I like this, like to keep it alive. I've been enjoying this series. Wonderful, D, wonderful. Listen to me, folks. Hey, share your takeaway. Those of you who are on before we leave. Keisha, what's your takeaway for tonight?
Three eyes. Invade, impact, influence.
That's good right there. That's good right there. Come on. What's your takeaway? What's your takeaway, brands? By adding more value to the marketplace, you become more marketable in your skills to impact change in the society. That's what we're talking about.
Correct.
All right. You oh my God, you become more marketable. So this is why I keep saying to folks, Keyshawn, if you begin to develop yourself, come on, it's gonna happen. It's according to the folks, it's bound to happen.
Awesome.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Well, Vanessa, what's your takeaway? Come on. All right. Brian Edwards, let's share your takeaway. All right, Keyshawn say my takeaway is the 3 eyes. Impact, invade, and influence. All right. I think my takeaway is, you add value, you take value, you make a difference, you make a dollar. That's my takeaway. Make a difference, make a dollar. Deborah says she's thinking. All right. Come on, Deborah. Thinking. You're thinking. Wonderful. All right. So, folks, again, we just want to just leave this here with you. want to thank everyone for coming on tonight. Remember, we're going to be coming down in the south with the business breakfast meeting. All right, that's a tagline right there, Kishore. The business breakfast meeting. If you hear this anywhere, you hear it first on the Minding My Business Kingdom Academy. All right, the business breakfast. We want to make a dollar. We want to make a difference. We're going to be in the south area. Also, remember, folks, we have the gated, the 12 weeks coaching and program that we have coming up. All right, register for it. Okay. Let's say apply your value and virtue wherever you are positioned in the kingdom. We are not put here to float through life. Ooh. Oh my God, not to float through life. All right, wherever you're positioned. You know that's powerful there too, Ishon.
For sure.
Where you are positioned, I think that's a big takeaway. I borrow your takeaway tonight. All right, add value, take value, make a difference, make a dollar. No, this one that Terrell shared it. He said, okay, that's it. Wherever you're positioned, that's where you need to invade. Right, that's big there. The position, wherever you are positioned, right? And somebody probably needed to hear this because you think where your position is the problem. It's not the problem. I know, Keyshawn, is sometimes that literally, just that statement is hard for some people to really accept it.
Yeah,
it's hard because they think that if I move, if I shift, if I go somewhere, I'll be better. No, because if you go somewhere, you go into. And somebody will get that next. Somebody will get that when we finish.
The grass is always greener wherever you are.
Yeah, wherever you are. That's it. All right, that's it. All right, so folks, we out. I borrow your take, right? Wonderful. Kishon, again, thanks for coming on. Let's do it.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
we'll be back next week, same place, same time. Remember, we continue. And those of you who are on, hold a second for me, Kishon. Yeah, those of you who are on, remember, we really want to do this thing. We want to do it good. All right, we really want to do this thing good. All right, really want to do it good. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, folks, I'm gonna put up in the chat there. All right. I'm putting up in the chat there the link. All right. Those who want to register for the 12 weeks. All right. Gated Dominion system that we are building. We want to take you through, and I'm going to be sharing more in the morning. I'm going to be on Facebook. I think probably about 8 o'clock. Okay. All right, I'm starting to do some pumping, Kishon.
That's real.
Pumping. Yeah, that's real. All right, so I'm gonna be on. Check me out in the morning. All right. So blessings, everyone. You all take care. Love you. Stay blessed. And remember, we always say, don't ever stress. All right. All right.
Blessings.
Make a difference. Make a dollar. All right. Impact, invade, influence. Yeah. All right. Take care.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
All right.